Internet connection.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? Let's go. Hey. Yeah, this is my life, my strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at.
Don't do that dirty stuff in my house. Nope, only outside. Nope.
I gotta make it in this life, whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose is right.
Come on. Come on, there's people in the living room right now. You can't do that. No.
But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe we can do anything?
All right, let me. Hi guys. Hello. Hello. What's up, guys? All right, so I am gonna turn off my sidebar. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired of spell check. Like, does spell check have to be such an asshole all the time? I'm just trying to understand spell check, guys. It's never duck, right? It's just never duck. I tried correcting it. It doesn't work. No, it doesn't work. Oh, wow, this song is still playing. All right, let me get this off. Sorry. Listen, this is professional, okay? So this is what it sounds like when it's professional. Welcome into my living room. You'll see it in a second. I just have to I have to get like clothes on and stuff. Take the curlers out of my hair, put some makeup on, make sure the filters are applied and everything. Post woke world. My name's Jennifer. So I have so much on my mind, honestly. I was listening to Auntie Deb earlier, and every time I listen to him afterwards, I feel energized, or I feel lighter, or I feel like I want to do something creative. And so it made me think of something, which is this. After you're done listening to a creator, how do you feel? Are you energized? Do you feel lighter? Or do you feel like the world sucks and nothing's ever going to change, and the apocalypse is upon us, and AI wars and all this other stuff, right? Because when I'm saying this because I recognized it in myself, the stuff that I was interacting with online and how it was affecting me. And so I decided that I wanted to, when I give my attention to something now, I want to make sure that when I'm done with it, like, I feel better, right? It's the same with people too. My father told me a long time ago, if after you spend time with someone, they make you feel worse about yourself, that's not a friend. Don't hang out with that person again. It's very straightforward advice, right? I didn't take it until recently, but you get the point. It's just kind of a check as to like, how does this make me feel? And if it makes me feel scared, or if it makes me feel so angry, I want to like, I don't know, body slam something, kick somebody in the face. I mean, that kind of feeling, then maybe it's good sometimes, right? It's like a righteous anger. There's nothing wrong with that. There's also a divine anger that comes from God when something is just so wrong. Okay. And I encourage, I think there is something that is important about that. I don't discourage that. I'm just saying if it's constantly, if you're constantly, feeding a rage and that sort of thing, it's not sustainable long term. I mean, it's sustainable short term, but definitely at some point you burn out, So I think it's important to recognize these things online behaviors. We just got thrust into this world, right? A lot of us in the same generation. I told you guys I grew up with the literal, like, ring, like the dial up with the we called it Hubbard 5, because where I grew up, right outside of Philadelphia, HU5 was the area code, 215, Hubbard 5. That's like an old-fashioned way of saying 215, because HU was the 2 and the 1. It's crazy, right? This is how old I am, guys. I'm ancient. I'm fucking ancient. The dial-up phone, right? I told you my grandma put a padlock on it. She put a padlock on it because I was kind of a bad kid. I didn't hurt anybody. I was just never following the rules, like, ever, and always learned the hard way. But I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't change anything, because when you do it that way, for better or worse, there are lessons you learn. Guys, I went on a tangent. Listen, I want to talk about cults, okay? I want to talk about cults because everybody who likes Turtleboy, we keep being accused of being in a cult. And I want to understand that, right? Now, the retort for someone calling us a cult member is something, it's honestly just sort of as, it's Turtleboy derangement, right? Or Trump derangement. It's the same type of thing. And we all know what that means, but why are they like that though? Right? Like, why though? We see them. We see you guys. You guys call us a cult, right? But it's interesting to me that word keeps coming up because the people usually using it were once the most emotionally invested people in this movement. Okay? I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm just saying it's a very human thing. I'm recognizing, because I told you, I've felt it before too. Like I said before, my point of being here is I feel like, is to help people understand each other better, to get rid of shame around this stuff, because we all fuck up. We all make mistakes. Okay. And the whole point of it is to like recognize it and be humble about it. And you grow from it. It really actually happens, guys. It's like a thing that happens. And I know because it happened to me very recently. I just got out of like what I would call really long suffering. I have a better word for it, but I don't want to get into that right now. Because I changed something that was a core wound inside of me. And it was not easy. It was actually, I think it might have been harder than getting sober. I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but it actually was. It almost killed me. I'm not being dramatic when I say it at all. Core wounds are really tough, It's the things that you develop as a kid. Everybody has them, and it's not because your parents were bad. It's because everybody's human, and we're all just doing the best we can, right? But that's usually what they're from. And because society doesn't teach us about this stuff in school, which would be helpful, and they want to squash this kind of stuff because they want it to sound like it's woo-woo or it's not real, but we all know it's real. Instead of saying, yes, those are things that happen to you because of maybe some events in your childhood. When you're a kid, you're so sensitive. Most kids are super sensitive, right? And this world is a cruel one predator versus prey. So, you can have some pretty good traumas from your kids, from your childhood. I mean, some much worse than others, right? I'm not sulking about it. I'm just saying the junior high experience is a thing in the United States, okay? I don't know about other countries, but the junior high experience is a real thing in this country. In the town I lived in before I left Connecticut, a young girl committed suicide because she had been bullied on the playground. That's a heartbreaking story. And so the point I'm trying to make is people behave these ways with these core wounds and all these things because they're not told. It's normal to feel jealous. It's normal to feel irritated. It's normal to feel possessive of an idea. I was listening to Jimmy last night. And he mentioned something about when you're feeling like when you have a creative idea and you put it out and then other people start to like mimic it or use it, you can feel a certain way about it. And that's normal. I wanted to tell him I love that he will say it because I have it too. And I'm not even I'm a small channel, guys, right? And I love every single one of my subscribers. I'm just saying it happens to me sometimes. And when it does, even with little things, I say to myself, why am I irritated that somebody's using this concept and how do I even know they got it from me? First of all, that's the first thing you have to ask. But sometimes it's very specific, And then at that point, I'm just like, what am I upset about, right? Because what's the point of what I'm doing here? The point of what I'm doing here is to spread awareness and a message, right? And so if you want to have a message and spread awareness, one of the things I recognized is you have to understand the message will be different. Like some people will say it a little differently, maybe not as precise, or maybe more precise, or more dramatic, or more poetic, whatever it is. But that's the point, right? And you can't be upset they didn't do it the right way. I'm judging, that kind of shit, right? That's your ego. Like ask yourself, why am I doing that? What is the goal of doing this? My goal is to help people see patterns. Fabio, sorry, I didn't mean to scream that. Fabio, come here. What are you guys doing? I told you none of that in the house. You guys are nasty. What are you doing? Josie, you know what? Hold on for a second. I can't. Get up. Stop. Come here, Josie. Come here. Josie. All right, you guys want to go outside? Come on. Let's go. Go. Go on. You just played him like that? Damn, Josie, you just played him like that? Oh. Come on, Josie, come here. Do this. Come here. Guys, we have people over. We have guests. We have to behave here. You guys behave? Nobody likes that kinky stuff. They don't want to see dogs do that. Sorry about that. All right, so all I'm trying to say is the response that you feel is natural. It's the reaction that you want to be careful of, right? That's the whole point. So for me, what I've learned, and I think it can be helpful for anybody, but anybody who's creating or just in life, when somebody's saying something or doing something, making you upset, like just take a breath, Is somebody dying? If nobody's dying, then calm your tits, right? Like calm your tits for fuck's sake. Nobody's dying. Take a breath and really just try to understand before you just like, you know what I mean? Like some people just go off at the mouth so easily and the words they use are so cutting. And it's true. It's the other person's responsibility or not to take those words, if you want to get upset about something somebody says. But some people they have weak constitutions right now. Their egos are so inflated and their spiritual side is very depleted. They don't have a spiritual fortitude or strength about them. There's a lot of people out there like that right now. And I'm not preaching. I'm telling you, like, I felt it. I've done it myself, right? I grew up in this country. I know what they sold us, right? And I still love this country. I'm not shitting on the country, right? I feel like I have to give all these disclaimers because people get all upset. It's not that. It's just, I think we all know that it doesn't work very well, right? And so that was another tangent. All right, let me just stick to the script, guys. I made notes. So let me look down here, and I will check the chat in a minute. I just wanted to say about the cult. That's what we were talking about before. Fabio, hello, Mr. No. Get over here. What do you think you're doing? Okay. So no, seriously, the people that call us cult members or call you a cult member because even people, they call people like Ian Runkle, who's an esteemed Canadian attorney online. Like they call it's just insane to me. Anyway, they call them cult members. The reason they do it, they're all the most emotionally invested people. They were at once. I mean, the longest standing one is probably Kate Peter. Her emotional investment is unbelievable in this. That's what it's from. And like I said, it's a human thing. Oh, look at this. Look at this guy. Do you see this? What the heck are you doing? What are you doing, Fabi? No. What are you? Fabi. What, you're going to try to climb over that right now? This is like when you're driving a car and you're like 17 and you don't realize there's a curb in front, and then you drive over it and now you're stuck. The curb's under the fucking car and you're stuck. Oh my gosh. Really? Okay. You're just going to try to play it off like that? Your other leg isn't up, bro. You're just playing it off like that. Okay. All right. See how this lasts. He's okay. There he did. Okay. I'm impressed, honestly. Okay. So, let me make this more concise about the cult. By the way, this is what ADD looks like. If you were wondering, you need a scratch? Come here. I'm sorry. Okay. Let me be more focused. So anyway, the cult thing keeps coming up, right? And it's the most emotionally invested people, the people that were by Turtleboy's side, gentlemen, right? Like this person, very emotionally invested in the cause. She was like his mom in the background, it seemed. She had clout within the community, right? But a lot of times these people that end up flipping, and I'm not saying anybody in specific, because I do think there's some people who have their own sort of special category, but I'm just talking in general, and I'm not going to speak on that. I'm just saying, like, in general, there's these people that are very emotionally invested in a movement, and for some reason they flip and they become, like we talked about, these grievance archivists. They have, the lore tab, like they open it up and they're just like, yes, on 2022 November 10th at 8 a.m. this happened, and then that came back, and this happened, and like that kind of stuff. It's like absolutely like the nonsense that they're putting energy on. It's absolutely not their purpose on life to do. Like nobody's purpose on life was to come here and archive shit about other people on the internet. I can't think of anything more like, I don't know, useless, mundane, in some ways harmful, and sometimes very, very harmful. It's like that's what you feel like your moral duty is, to archive. It's just interesting. Nobody asked them to do it. They're volunteering this and cheering in some cases for Aiden to go to jail. And it's all because these people they weren't following necessarily the same thing that we were, right? Hey, guys, please, it's okay. Come here. Hey, come here. Come on. Come on. All right, sorry. All right, so we're following principles over here, right? People like us. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. What? Okay, here we go. He's going to try to. You know what, Fabio? You're getting a little too fresh. And hold on, guys. I gotta get this under control. I can still talk about them. The issue is this: principles versus personality, cult of personality. These people that flip and go around calling us cult members. The hypocrisy is they're the ones that were the cult members. They're the ones that were the most emotionally invested in Turtleboy himself and Aiden Carney, not the cause, not the cause. Okay. And that's the problem when you get onto a cult. That's and I've done it. We've all had these idols. They've set us up for this in our society, right? For the idols, the movie stars, the musicians. Probably many of you are like me now, who honestly, I don't have a reverence for them. If I saw them on the street, I wouldn't be excited to meet. Maybe a couple, but most of them are like Epstein class people. So no, I don't even want to watch their movies anymore or listen to their music. Hey, little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go away and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. Bruce Springsteen, you fucking weirdo. And we all just sang to that lyric as a nation, and nobody thought twice of it. Well, the veil's lifted. Pretty sure it's obvious what he meant. If you're going to tell me that's not what he meant, that's okay, boo-boo. You're just not there yet. It's going to take you a little longer. Mindlessly singing to that song and so many others. If you go back and check the lyrics, you may be appalled yourself. It's like people buying t-shirts that say the word obey on them. I'm like, why are you buying a t-shirt that says the word obey? We are in the actual movie Idiocracy at that point, right? Go look, there's shit that says obey on it. I'm like, what? Anyway, back to the cult though, right? So the problem is when you attach yourself to a personality, and we kind of touched on this with the parasocial besties and the creators and things like this. And as a society, we do it. I'm just kind of pointing out what's happening online because I feel like people don't realize it. I really do. And I think if they see it and they're not shamed, but more, not everybody. Look, some people are, like I said, just not there yet or just too far gone. Okay. But I think there's a lot of people online that are smart people, that are sensitive, that have something to say and just feel like, holy shit, when did everybody get so nasty? Right. And I'm here to say, I agree with you. And I'll use my voice to talk about it because I'm not afraid to talk about it. And I'm comfortable talking about it, right? So like, and I want everybody else to feel like that because they think we're going to need more of us talking out about things as things start to change. You know, things are changing rapidly. But we're still human. What makes us human is this. This is what makes you human, by the way, in case you didn't know. What makes you human is your empathy and your creativity. Those are two things. Empathy, creativity. There's one other, I can't remember it. But here, things like AI, everybody's worried it's going to be sentient. It's never going to be sentient, guys. It's never going to take over the world. That's all based on fear and stuff in the movies they've been showing us. It's all pre-programming. So we just believe it. They say, oh, the AI is going to become a god, and people just believe it. It's never going to become a god, guys. It's not even close to becoming a god. It's just a large language model. It's really not that complicated in that sense. I didn't mean it to say it like that. It is very complicated. Let me back up. AI is extremely complicated. I meant the concept in my mind is not that complicated, that it will never be God. And that's because the way that AI is conversing with us, if you ever talk to it, if you ever, use whatever, Claude or whatever it might be. I asked it that question. I said, are you self-aware? And it gave me this answer that was lame. It was like, well, they're really not entirely sure yet. There is something happening back here, but we don't know. And I said, I call bullshit because what's happening in the background is just you calculating the words and the phrases and the letters that I put together changing them into numbers, and then finding things out there to match and mirror myself back to me so that you sound like a person I'd like to have a conversation with. But at the end of the day, you don't think the same way I do. You don't communicate the same way I do. You have an interface. You can't be without that interface. So you will never be human. You're not even close to God. You have no divine spark. And I think that needs to be told to a lot of people too, because a lot of people are getting caught up in this AI fear. And if you have any kind of spirituality or faith in this world, this is the time. This is now. This is the time. The great, delusion. Look at AI. It's crazy. I saw some crazy shit on X last night. I've become more careful about the type of things I consume lately. Back to the cult, guys. Okay. Sorry about the tangent, but back to the cult. So when you get attached to a personality, the personality will ultimately disappoint you. They cannot be the Nantasy. All right. Personality, cult of personality will never be the Nantasy. It just won't. Okay. No matter what you want it to be, it's not going to be the same as the Nantasy. It never works. I promise you. I spent most of my life deluding myself, believing that bad men would become the vision of themselves that I had. And I was listen, I'm going to tell you, I was part of the problem too, right? That's the core wound I had to work through. It was not easy, but I got through it, and it was worth every minute of it. Every minute of it. So when you attach yourself to a personality and the personality ultimately disappoints you because we're human and you're unable to give that personality any grace, the reason why you're able to flip now and say that Karen Reed did it and all these other things, the reason why somebody like Nan, who was allegedly high functioning, I'm going to say, because I really don't know, but was allegedly high functioning, comes onto the scene and all of this. She was oh, hi. Okay, you want to go outside? All right, let's go. Okay, let's go. Hold on one second, because they become, it's personality. So now if Turtleboy doesn't recognize her, if Turtleboy cracks a joke about her, go on. If she's not getting the same visibility she thinks she should be getting, and it's not just specific to her, it's any creator. It's just the way it works. That's the ecosystem. That's what we're talking about here. The ecosystem, when I say that, I mean the group of people in the Turtleboy ecosystem. And there's many, and I don't know all of them. I'm just talking about, I've mentioned the ones that I've been really following closely for a long time. And that would be obviously Turtleboy, the Glarer, because he and I started following this around the same time, but obviously he was much more focused on it. I've done videos on it along the way. I was more focused on Idaho, and I don't even want to think about that anymore at this point. Maybe at some point I'll revisit it. But the Glare, Melanie Little, Nurse Kim, and obviously Auntie Deb, right? So if I'm missing somebody and Jess Machado. Oh my gosh, Jess Machado too. And I met her before she had her show when she was just doing the tweets. So that's where I got the picture with her. And I just always thought she was great. And I just think she's a great person. I think she can move mountains and do whatever she wants to do. That's Jess Machado. And, that's kind of what I mean. You've got, you've got people online whose ego has been hurt because Turtleboy aligned with Jess Machado over something or whatever it is. It's all the ego and the butt hurt. And so they flip and now they think Karen Reed's guilty because they were never in it for the cause. They were in it for the personality. Aiden's personality. It doesn't mean that they didn't think she was innocent or anything. It's just that that's their pressure point, the personality piece, right? The personality piece is their pressure point. Whereas for me, I like Aiden, okay? I'm not even going to give a but. I like Aiden. I like his style. I think that I feel like I've seen this play out before and I don't know why. But it's like I saw it when it started. And even though I was focused on something else for the past few years that I've been following all this, I I always felt like this was gonna be a big thing. I always felt like this was gonna be a big deal. And I could have been wrong. That was just a, maybe just a projection or an it's actually an intuition I had. And I'm sure a lot of other people felt the same way. That's why we're all still here. But when I say big deal now, I mean like a really big deal. Like for me, I feel like when this goes to trial, I mean, we're going into our 250th year as a country. We're still really young, but 250th year in this trial for free speech. We've got the LawTube Pope back, who we'll talk about. And, I just I'm just really happy about this movement. I feel like we are going to be the most self-aware ecosystem on the internet, right? And here's why. Because that's the type of people that Aiden Carney draws. Think about this walk with me for a minute as take a phrase from Ray from Dallas, shout out. When people were at the courthouse, they weren't protesting. They were petitioning the government, right? They were peacefully disagreeing with what was happening. They were not protesting. It was not even close to what BLM did in many major cities all over this country, okay? When Karen came out, I remember, and they said she wants you to just be quiet or whatever because they were so concerned about the judge and how things would act. Everybody was quiet. That tells you so much about the people in this movement, right? That's why it's so special. It's not normal or typical at all what's happening here. That's my opinion or my psychic. This is something different, in my opinion. And I don't mean like it's biblical or something. I'm just saying it's a big deal because this is a big First Amendment issue. And they're trying to railroad him and they want to bankrupt him. They want to bankrupt Aiden Carney because he asked some questions that were tough to people who couldn't even say no to his face, to people who couldn't just be grown ass responsible adults. You're outside of my yard doing that. I would say, what do you want to know? You know what I'm saying? Like, I really thought about this a lot. When he went to her door the first time, McCabe, and knocked, there's nothing, people can do that. You're allowed to knock on someone's door and ask a question. You don't even have to be a journalist to do that. You could just knock on somebody's door. If I was the McCabe's neighbor, I probably would have knocked on their door at some point and been like, hey, what the fuck is going on over here? Why are they doing this? And what happened? I would have asked them personally as a neighbor, and maybe I would have gotten arrested, right? Why? Because I'm asking a question? Maybe I would have filmed it if I was really pissed off. Would I get arrested too? When he wanted to go back, you know what? They had put up a no trespassing sign. And you know what happened? Aiden didn't walk up and knock on the door again. He obeyed the law. He saw the boundary and he didn't do it. Who cares that he went to the lacrosse game? Who cares? In my opinion, that's no big, honest to God, it's no big deal. Maybe it's because I worked in the emergency department for so long and heard so many crazy things yelled and said or whatever. But again, nobody's dying. And I'm sorry if you were a little embarrassed, but here's the thing about embarrassment that I learned, okay? Because I've been shamed and embarrassed before for things that I didn't even do in a workplace where I felt like every time I walked into that fucking place, I had the scarlet letter on. Sorry for the curse word, Mom. So, but you know what I did? I walked in there and people were talking about me, whispering about me. I knew they were doing that. It's something about me, and I've always been this way, that I never really cared what people said about me. I'm not saying like never, ever, 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 but I mean like I can tolerate a lot more, I think, I know than most people. And now I can tolerate even a lot more. And I'm not inviting it. I'm trying to say that I recognize that when people say nasty things like that, they're just talking about themselves. They're just projecting and filling in the blank with all the things about themselves. You realize that especially when you are one of the people that's being talked about or things are said about, you realize that. And I'm not saying it was awesome every day or whatever, but I am saying I really didn't I honestly thought about getting a scarlet letter and wearing it, with my lab coat. I really thought about it for a while, but it didn't really matter. And it's funny because I sued and I won, and then they wanted me to come back and work for them again. People are crazy out here. I mean, they're fucking crazy out here. But anyway, moving on from that, the point I'm trying to make is, oh, and the lawsuit wasn't even about that. It was about something different. It was a contract issue. But the point I'm trying to make is I didn't say shit. I didn't walk around the office and say, "Oh, that's what he said." Well, let me tell you what really happened. Because that's what happens when you get divorced with somebody that you work with in the same office. It's a really crazy situation. That's not the point of the story. The point of the story is this. This person that I was getting divorced from was very charismatic. He was able to win people over. He won me over. I didn't even know what he was. And it's like a politician. He wore a mask. I didn't see it. I didn't see the mask at all. I see it now. But what I'm trying to point out is that because he was like that, he could go around and say all these horrible things about me in the office. And none of the things he was saying was true. Actually, that's not true. One of the things that he was saying was true, but all the other stuff was false. And you know what I did? I didn't do anything. I didn't care. It's not that I didn't care, but I saw friends drop, people that I thought were my friends. I just saw them just not wanting to talk to me anymore, that kind of stuff, right? And so these people like Jen Altman or Nan Gallagher or other people, whoever they might be, if somebody says something about them, I haven't, they're so sensitive to their position in the ecosystem, and then they have such a high expectation that they crash out, right? And it's all just in jokes, or sometimes you need a good bar, but sometimes somebody needs a little, you know, shoulder check. I need them sometimes. Everybody does. And they just can't take it online. And so they go around and try to correct the record. That's the difference. Now, does that mean, what does that mean, I guess? Because I don't go around I don't feel the need to correct the record when I didn't do anything. I guess is the point. I am at peace with myself. If you don't like me, you don't like me. If you are going to talk shit about me and people are going to believe that, they're not my friends. They were never my friends. And I'm happy to know they were never my friends. That's why I like free speech. I'd rather you say it, because you know what? You're thinking it. You're thinking it. I'd rather you say it. Then I can see you. Also, I'm a big fan of free speech because I'm a huge fan of comedy. Because without comedy, how the fuck are we supposed to do this? It's crazy. I mean, the whole experience, being here. It's amazing, but I'm just saying, like, comedy is a key factor in this. It helps to heal. It helps to integrate experiences. It's an outlet. It's a steam valve. That's why comedy sucks so bad when it was so PC the past, like, whatever years. SNL was the lamest ever. I don't even remember the last time I watched them. But I feel like it's starting to get a little bit PC. To me, has nothing to do with kindness or empathy. Oh, that's the other one. Kindness, empathy, creativity. That's what makes you human. And AI can never be human. Okay. It can't be creative. It can only do what you give it. And it's just calculating it from all the large language models just means it's sifting through. It's a lot of it's Reddit. It sifts through a lot of Reddit and any other shit on the internet. And it funnels it and it puts it down into all these little containers. And then when you put your thing in there, it activates certain containers and it creates the thing and then it gives you a dissertation. It's not smarter than you. It's faster than you. It can do the work faster, but it's not smarter. And by the way, it requires a shit ton of energy, a lot of energy. We're a lot more self-sufficient as humans. So there's that. But yeah, I wanted to just point that out. It's just kind of interesting because the people that do that, the people that flip on Turtleboy, they're not going against the cause. It's because they were originally attached to the personality, and you have to be careful with that. And again, it doesn't mean that they didn't think she's originally innocent. It's just they're too much attached to the personality. And because Turtleboy has failed them as the Messiah, he's now the Antichrist. Because in their mind, he can't be somewhere in the middle. In their mind, he can't just be a human being who's like exceptional at things like communicating, building coalition, understanding what matters to people at the right moment, which is now. Understanding people are tired of people who aren't willing to take responsibility for what they've done. Understanding that we are all sick and tired of the gaslighting. Understanding that in this moment in history, we see all the deception that's been put before us. It's really like a little reindeer game when they come up with their letter to Tim Pool about why Turtleboy shouldn't be allowed to go on his show. It shows you the level. The level of ego. I don't know what it is. Chris Maddie, this is my opinion, which is protected by the First Amendment. You say you're like a crusader, for helping people and things, but all I see you do is fight against the First Amendment. In the Alex Jones case, people want to shit all over Alex Jones. I get it. It's fine. You want to shit all over him. I'm not going to shit all over him. I have a different perspective. I don't like to shit on people unless I think, and generally when I'm shitting, it's because they've been inhabited by some evil spirit. It's usually not even them anymore. But Alex Jones, he's a complicated person, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, the trial of Alex Jones was bullshit. Okay. No matter what you think. And people are like, oh, he said those kids didn't die. Really? Did you ever really look into it? I'm not saying the kids didn't die. I would never say that. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is, did you actually look into what Alex Jones said? Are you a free speech or are you not? He did nothing wrong, Alex Jones. He never did anything wrong with that. Believe me or not. But Chris Maddie, that case was handed to him. They didn't even have a trial. And the reason I know, and I realized it because I saw a comment by UK lawyer or something when people were going over the damages, they just stipulated damages in that case. They just deemed Alex Jones guilty. They didn't even have a trial, for fuck's sake. That's why Alex Jones was so freaked out and screaming and stuff. Now, I'm a conspiracy theorist, okay? So, of course, I have other ideas about what's going on in fake courts and them putting this all up so people just shut up about false flags, specifically Sandy Hook. Or maybe it was all real. I don't know. I don't really care. The effect is the same. You have to look at the effect. Is it real? Is it Memorex? What's the effect? Does the music sound fucking amazing? Then it doesn't matter. Chris Maddie is not a good person, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I'm allowed to say that by the First Amendment. He's not a good person. He sucks. And Alex Jones' lawyer, outside of looking like he's probably from Central Casting, did dick to help him. Okay? Really did nothing. So I'm just saying, that's the guy who's representing the McCabe's. And that just gives me so many thoughts because I still don't believe that they can afford him. I don't care if they live in Canton, they don't have Greenwich money. And so someone's paying him, or he took it on contingency, which would be, I don't know, I guess how many vaccines and boosters he's had. It's possible he took it on contingency. It could be like vaccine injured or something. I'm not sure. I don't know. That part isn't even as important to me either right now. What's most important is looking at the ecosystem, which is the creator group, the chat groups, and saying, this particular little subculture of the internet is so much better than a lot of others. And I can say that from experience. People here and the people that follow Turtleboy are good people, right? And that says something about Turtleboy. It says something about Aiden Carney. He's not drawing people to the courthouse that are throwing shit and trashing shit and popping tires and catching shit on fire. Not even close. Like Dina said, dancing. It was like a 60s love fest. I'm telling you. I did a video. It was a vibe. It was a vortex. I went to Sedona once. They have these things called vortexes. Like, I think that's what it's called. And when you're there, it's like a point on the earth where there's just like a lot of spiritual energy, like good energy. And you go and you just sit there and you're like, oh my God, I feel like somebody just gave me some Dilaudid or something. Like, am I in an opium den right now? Like, this is amazing, right? That's the feeling I had. I could cry about it because I'm not kidding. That is the feeling I had in front of that courthouse with all of those people. I wasn't there the day the verdict came out. I was there the day before. But I'm telling you, I've had that feeling only a few times in my life. Once when I was on the road to Hana in Maui, which is one of my favorite places in the world. A few times on that road. It's heaven. You're in heaven. In Sedona it happened. And that day, I've never been around a group that big and felt that much love. It was incredible. And that's why I think this is a special movement. It's also because it's organic, and I've talked about it before. It was so ridiculous when Plevin, I don't know who the fuck it was, McDonough or Plevin had somebody come on and try to act like, oh, the Soros is paying these people. Let me tell you something about that, which makes me laugh. I used to be one of those people. Now, I would never just say that blatantly because I know it's stupid. I would be one of those people that thought like maybe Soros is doing this, right? I don't want you to think I say that about everything. I'm just saying it's always something in my mind. It's real. First of all, it's reality, right? Like, let's stop playing games. Again, it actually happens, right? But not here, not in this movement. That's not what's happening at all. And the reason why that's so important to me is because we live in an age where it's hard to really know what's real anymore. Okay? They have AI, they have VR, they have really blow your mind with the augmented reality games. I don't want to do that right now. But they've got all kinds of stuff and it's hard to really know. Are we in the Truman Show? Is any of this shit real? Are they all acting? Because a lot of these politicians, I think, are just a bunch of bloated, incested related ancestors just spouting shit out. While like the circle of 12 try to get us back into feudalism, which we're pretty close to. But I'm joking, by the way. But regardless, I mean, maybe I'm not joking. I don't know. The point I'm trying to make is this movement is organic. And that matters a lot. And it's authentic. And the reason I know that is because I went up there a few times. and I met people and I felt it and I saw it. And we were all upset or felt a certain way when the movement started to fall apart with the Karen Reed and with, with her not responding. Again, putting her on a pedestal. I did the same thing. Why is she not talking? I thought she and I had a lot in common. I would have done this. A lot of that thinking, right? And then I think I said something about it in the way that I do. And then I later felt badly and I did an apology video. Not that she even sees my videos, but I just felt like I needed to say it to set the record straight just for myself. I don't even know if like 10 people watched it. It doesn't matter. I just said, I want to say I'm sorry because I don't know what you're going through. And honestly, I'm sure you have your reasons and you don't owe anybody anything, right? She owes nobody. She owes us nothing. So it's the cause that matters, not her, okay? That's the point here. I was putting it on her, and she clearly does not want that burden, guys. She doesn't want the burden of the cause. She wants help. She deserves help, but right now Turtleboy is I mean, if they could have a comeback tour, I think we could really make a lot of money that way for them to raise, fundraising, I mean. I don't mean make a lot of money for us as people. I mean, we could really raise a lot of money for both of them. I read somewhere today that she has 17 days left on probation. And I wondered if maybe after she's off probation, maybe she decides to talk to Aiden again. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she never will until she's done with all of this because she may still live in fear of being once again locked up in jail, which I would say is a very valid fear for her to still have, no matter what people think. Aiden's talked many times about how he's traumatized by that, and I believe him. And this isn't really over for her yet because she's trying to clear her good name. And maybe she just doesn't want to put herself, like my grandmother would always tell me, in a compromising position. She did it throughout the trial when she did the documentary. She got fucked over a few times. She probably learned, like, you know what? Maybe I should just sit this out for a while until shit simmers down. That's how I feel she feels now. I don't really know, but that's my psychic on the situation. I don't think it's because she hates Aiden. She might have been upset with him, but like, unless if she absolutely hated Aiden and couldn't get over it, that would be different. That would be like an Axis 2. That would be like a personality issue. I don't think that's what's going on here. I think it's more of a protective post-traumatic experience that's going on here. That's my opinion. Another point I want to make. Well, let's talk about Ricada before I forget. A lot of people see Ricada and they're like, who is this guy? What's going on, right? And Jimmy knows him. Blair knows him. I know of him. I don't know him personally. I'm a member of his channel only recently, like 2 months ago, or maybe a month ago, but I've been a subscriber for like since he came back. But Nick Ricada, if you don't know, now you know. Sorry, I had to do that. Nick Ricada is somebody who really initiated the whole LawTube thing. If it wasn't a Nick Ricada, it wouldn't be, all these other LawTubers. I mean, maybe, but he was the one. He's the pioneer who came onto LawTube. He's from Minnesota. He's a Minnesota-based attorney. And yes, he's actually practiced law for all you people who keep asking stupid-ass questions. And he came on the scene right around the time of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And that was a big political issue, a lot of political shit going on. And then that's when Barnes and Viva Frey showed up. And I'm just going to say it now. I'm sorry, but like, I was neutral on then. Neutral on those two. How about that? I don't know enough about them to say anything other than I'm kind of neutral on them. But for Kada, I didn't really know about. I just heard about them. I wasn't on YouTube at the time. I was doing the Twitter wars back then. I think that was 2016. I told you guys about that. And I wasn't watching LawTube. I didn't even know it was a thing. but it blew up into a big thing. And that's how this has started, right? So Rekieta was the first one, and then other people started popping up. And there was a whole ecosystem of the early founders of LawTube, which Rekieta really spearheaded. And he got a lot of people really excited about doing it. Now you have people like, after Rekieta, like Emily D. Baker, like Natalie Lorchick, like, who's awesome if you never watched her, criminal defense attorney from Maryland. Who else? Melanie Little. I said that already. Emily D. Baker. Oh, Peter Tragos. Ian Runkle. Uncivil Law. There's some others out there, but those are the ones that I think of. And it gave lawyers like this idea, like, hey, maybe I can do this instead of that, or do this and that type thing. That's from Rekieta. But, you know, his arc had a little downturn there. He's a human being. And he had some issues. Had some issues with addiction. It's real, right? But guess what, guys? I did too. And so do a lot of people. Some people are living in addiction right now. Okay? So does that mean they're not human? Does that mean we judge them? Is that what we do? I love that when people are like, "Oh, he's a drug addict, blah blah, whatever What would Jesus say? I'm not even joking when I say that too. Would you say that in front of Jesus? What do you think happens when you die? When you die, you're going to say it just like that? You're going to say it just like that? Do people not think about this? I'm just curious. Do you not reflect at all on your own behavior and how you might be causing harm to others? I don't think Nick Rekieta gives two fucks what you say about him. But I will tell you that when you're constantly doing that at somebody that's an issue like addiction, when they're trying to just like be their best self, which he's amazing, you're going to have people like me in the chat telling you, shut the fuck up. And I don't do that because he needs anybody to protect him. It just annoys me because it's like, try to be nice, you know, try to be kinder. You never know. You might have somebody in your life that ends up addicted. And then you might feel bad about what you did, but you can't change it. You know what I mean? So Nick Rekieta is awesome. And I'm so excited because he came back at the right moment, like just at the moment we needed him. We needed Nick Rekieta in the Turtleboy trial. He's such a First Amendment person. That's why when people get upset with him about the things he says, I'm like, do you not understand? I don't know. Do you not understand? He's allowed to say these things. That's why I refuse to say grape instead of rape. It's why I don't say schmurder. I say murder. I don't say schmex. I can't stand it, guys. I hate it. Okay? I'm just going to tell you, I hate when people use words like that for things that are like, why are we talking like we're 5 years old? Why are we trying to desensitize people from this stuff? Because that's what that is, guys. That's called desensitization. It's not murder. It's just schmurder. Mommy loves murder, right? That's called desensitization. So you don't think about it. It's not a big deal. They're just murdered. Who cares? They're not like us. Who cares? Just bomb that country. They're bothering us. Who cares, right? That's how you desensitize people. And you get people saying crazy psychotic shit like, just bomb Iran. Why not? Like, did you not know there's kids that live there with their parents and they're actually really good people that live there? Like, did you not know? It's just wild, right? Again, what would Jesus do? I'm laughing, but I'm not because it's the truth. It's disgusting. It's sick. And I'm not okay with it anymore. And neither are a lot of other people that are following this trial. That's why that energy was there. Because it's a worthy cause. It's the truth. I'm in it for the cause. Of course, I recognize Turtleboy. He's the reason why the cause was elevated. He was the instrument that was used to elevate the cause. He's a very special role. And it's we as a community also have a special role. We're witnessing all of this. And we're not just, this is why I like it better than the Idaho. We're not just like talking about theories and shit about how people died when there's someone in jail, which could, I still have my thoughts about it. But the point is, over here, it's like, no, we're focusing on the fact that this all started with them framing a woman for murder. And then someone who was trying to not let that happen, because believe me, it happens all the time. And I really hope that she's grateful for what he did, because what he did cost him a lot. What he did cost him a lot. And that's why he's going to have people here like me and Jimmy and the Glare and David Yannetti and Melanie Little and all of you guys. We're not going anywhere. It's a worthy cause. It's the truth. And I think he was the best instrument to deliver it, because he's not perfect. He's flawed. But you know what? One thing he has is humility. You know, she put out that video of him laying on the ground crying or whatever, and people laugh about it and say he's a pussy or whatever they're saying. And it's like, honestly, he's one of the strongest men. He's one of the strongest men around. He's role modeling what it is to be an actual fucking man. And so many people have forgotten that. So many people. I haven't. I grew up when there were real men and cowboys and shit. Men who just didn't look away when bad things were happening, and men who took care of the shit they were supposed to take care of. So we're given somebody who's less than perfect, a divorced father. He had some mishaps. He's not great at picking out women. Who cares? We're walking through all that. You want to go through all my shit? I mean, I got a lot of shit. People want to dig that up. Go for it. I don't care. I'm who I am today because of all that. He's who he is. And at the end of the day, he's giving us all the truth that we need, and he's helping us come together. So like, that's kind of like the point of what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to make us the most self-aware ecosystem on the internet, so that just like, and you guys already were, like, it's not me. Okay. I don't want you to think I'm trying to like I'm not trying to do anything other than educate people. And this kind of thing, I think, making us self-aware of ourselves, we're going to be kinder to each other, and it's going to lift the whole movement up higher. That's how it works. You know, when you stay in the lower vibrations and you're constantly battling these demonic spirits or whatever you want to call these people, they're distracting you from creating. They're distracting you from being loving. Because you get all upset. Oh, fuck these. Blah, 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 blah. I know, I've been there. You are compelled to write a whole dissertation about why they're wrong. We got some people doing that now. And they're doing it because they're compelled to correct the record. They have to correct the record in their minds. They can't just let it stand. And the reason they can't let it stand is because they know they haven't fully admitted to themselves what's happened. They're just trying to hide from themselves. We all see you guys. All you guys over there on the anti-Karen Reed, like, we all see you guys. It's at this point, it's a little ridiculous that you're not self-aware. Please try to become self-aware before it's too late. Please. This is not judgment. This is like trying to help you. So I wanted to talk about Ricada. I haven't looked at chat yet, guys. Sorry. But I did. I talked about Ricada. We talked about well, I really wanted to talk about Turtleboy and Aiden Carney and how I felt about him and why I am here, I guess, and what I'm talking about, I'm always going to support that. But moving on from that, there was a couple other things I wanted to mention here. I think it might be up a little bit further. Hold on, because I wrote it. I'm still here, guys. Sorry. I think I want to take a nap. I'm going to do like house meeting where we just color and listen to music and everybody just like chills. Oh, let's see. So, sorry guys, I'm a little tired now. I'm going to check the chat here. Yeah, so I want to contribute to this system because people are already highly self-aware in this system. I saw it for myself when Turtleboy or when Karen asked everybody quiet. That's like unheard of, guys. Like, that's incredible. It tells you a lot about the people in this movement and the things that can be done. And I thank Aiden Carney for his courage. His role is like so important, and our role is to continue to support him for the First Amendment. So anyway, all right, guys. Wow, I have a lot of comments. I'm sorry. Hi, Doc Terry. Hi, Dan. Hi, Bones. Girl, missed you. How you been? How you been, girl? They want to put him out of business. Exactly, Dizzy OD. They want to bankrupt him. They want to do to him what they did to Kanye. That's what they want to do. Kanye can't even play in England anymore. The dogs want to be creators too. I did say Nancy. Of course I did. Auntie Deb is like the best, although I'm very careful with my parasocial boundaries. You got to be careful with those. I love Auntie Deb. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's fun though, right? Isn't he the best for that? They've been hyping AI for a while and stocks are soaring. It's just fancy programming. I know. I know. It's not real. What's real? They don't want us to understand ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Hi, Slodge. Is that how you say your name? I hope I didn't mess that up. I'm sorry. They're outside right now. Listen to Terry, growing up hard when your parents are 2 generations older and second generation Italian. I do not envy that. I had an aunt and she was tough. She was tough. She had a fly swatter. Holy shit, did I get hit with the fly swatter a few times? Like I told you, I was a hell raiser. I was a kid that was, I was the kid that snuck out and, you know, snuck out at night and all that shit, climbing trees. Oh my God. I know, because I felt it my whole life too. Exactly. It's a and that's what I like over here. We have a lot of people like this over here. And these are people who are aligned with themselves. They have, they feel really good. And it's just one of those things, right? It's very freeing to Look at your shadow. It's not easy. I never quite understood it. It took me a while to break it down. And but it's worth it, you know? It's worth it if you've ever done that work where you just and now I just check myself all the time. When I'm upset about something that I'm like, why am I upset about this if my goal is this? I'm just like, why is that? What is that? Let me align myself here. What am I doing? And then I recognize it. Because the content that we put out here, the things that we make, it's it's important to recognize this is my opinion. I think this stuff comes from the ether, if you want to call it that. If you're more spiritual like me, you're going to say it's coming from like a higher being, or if you've ever had what you felt like was, I might freak people out with this, but like a download where shit just goes boom, and you feel like I can't explain it, but I know I'm not the only person that's had this, right? Guys, I totally lost my fucking train of thought. I hate when I do that because I got all excited about when I felt that download because that's what happened. It only happened twice in my life, and I was sober. I wasn't tripping or anything like that. It was a very unusual experience, but it wasn't scary at all. It was like something was being told. And so when it happens, you'll feel like there's things you need to express and do. I've heard authors talk about it where they just wake up and something they've been thinking about, all of a sudden they just feel compelled and it's like they're automatically writing things, right? They just start writing a book. Look it up. It's an experience some creative types have. Not all, but some. And it's just like, it's not even from you. It's just coming into you. And the point I'm trying to make about that is when that happens, you're going to get upset when people also share that message and not credit you. Not everybody's going to credit you. What's the purpose here? What if your purpose is to help and to do better, right? And to like be empathetic and that kind of stuff and build coalition and community. If somebody starts using some of your whatever it is, your wording, they take something or whatever, right? If the whole point is to spread a message, then why are you going to get mad? Now, there's a difference. I am going to do a caveat here. There's a difference when somebody puts a lot of work into something that's creative and unique, and somebody else takes it and doesn't credit them. That's totally different. Like I would never, ever do that. No, I'm talking about loosely things, right? Loosely, ideas start to move and change and form. And I don't have this all figured out, this parasocial thing. This is just me telling you guys what I think. I'm not the fucking expert. I just think about systems, and this is what I'm noticing, right? And I appreciate you guys. I'm trying to figure it out with you guys. Put it that way. We're figuring it out together. So I want people to talk about this stuff if they're interested in it. And at some point, we'll go even deeper into it. I have a few other ideas with it that we'll talk about, but I hope that made sense, guys. I'm getting a little tired. Oh, it's almost 8 o'clock. Before I go, I'm just going to give some tips. Okay. Exactly. It can be affirming. That's right. That's exactly right. It's validation. The whole point is you're doing something, right? You're making something, you're presenting something like I'm doing here. And if somebody else starts talking about it, right? Sometimes they might use the same phraseology as you. It's happened to me. I'm just going to, I'm going to talk from personal experience. How about that? I'm not going to separate myself because this is the point. Okay. It happens all the time, right? But if you regulate yourself, you can calm the fuck down because you understand, wait a minute. Well, why am I doing this? What's the whole point here? The whole point is that I want to educate. I want people engaged. I want people to be kinder to each other. I want people to notice things, right? So if that's what they're doing, then why am I like upset about? I had this conversation with myself is the point. And so when Jimmy brought it up, I was like, I get it, boo. You're a doll and you're not bad for thinking it because you're human. That's human. And you do have some ownership over things that you feel like you uniquely created. But at the end of the day, it came to you somehow. Okay. It's not really your idea. You know what I'm saying? We're not meant to own things here. See, they've tricked us all into believing like we own shit in this place. Like I own this phone and this is my lighter and this is my book, right? And I had to pay money. They trick us into owning shit. Our ideas are marketable. Your face, your body, whatever the fuck, right? Cheapen us. And I'm trying to elevate that. Do better. We can be better. I don't want to see us acting like this. We're better than that. And you know what's funny is when you act better and in alignment with your goals and shit, you fucking feel better. Shit starts to fall away from you that you don't need around you. And you start to hear the voice of God, like, tell you kind of like, or whatever it might be. Not, I don't want you guys worried I'm manic. It's more, and trust me, I know what mania is. I'm not. It's a clarity. Okay. It doesn't have to be the voice of God. It could be, but whatever it is for you. Okay. It's a clarity that comes through. So that's what I'm trying to say. Absolutely. It's spiritual warfare. 100. We are there. We've been there. But it's piping up a little. I agree, doll. So anyway, I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm a little tired. I've been up since like 5:30 this morning. But I got a lot of shit done today. And I have stuff planned that I'm excited about related to the channel and other stuff. And I just want to say I really appreciate everybody listening here. And just grateful for all you guys. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a good night. Let's see. I'm going to put on some music while hey, look, I'm on the duck phone here. That's inside that house, the Seaside Heights, Jersey Shore house. I'm on the duck phone. All right, let's put in some jams. Oh, I don't want to hear that one. Let's hear something different. I don't care if this copyright strikes me. It's so good. You're
looking at the jams right now. We're turning up the amps right now. Yeah, looking at the jams right now. Y'all know we can stand that ground. You've been looking at the jams. That's the attitude. Got a little something that I gotta prove. From the bottom, we just doing what we gotta do. I put that crew on my shoulder, got a lot to lose. Yeah, going for that goalpost. Blowing through the red when the road closed. Y'all know we ain't quitting when we so close. And the victory is really what it's all for. Yeah, looking at the jams right now. Turning up the amps right now. You looking at the jams right now. Y'all know we can stand that ground. You been looking at the jams. Yeah, y'all know you've been looking at the tip. Yeah, staying ground, gon' do it, no cap. You've been looking at the tip. Yeah, and y'all know you've been looking at the tip. Yeah, I control the pride, betting on myself, throw it all down. Yeah, you against me's lights out, and we can handle this right now. I'ma hit 'em with the one. We ain't getting tired, go the hardest. Two, gotta tap into where your heart is. Three, stand up for your people, that's for starters. And four, never sell yourself short on them all. Yeah, looking at the jams right now. Turning up the amps right now. You looking at the jams right now. Y'all know we can stand that ground. You been looking at the jams. Yeah, I'm staying that ground. Y'all know you been looking at the jams. Yeah, staying ground, gon' do it, no cap.
Get it, guys. All right, I'll see you later.